It's not quite David versus Goliath, although it's not far off given Real Madrid's affinity in the Champions League. Over the last 10 years, Real Madrid have lifted the championship 5 times. And 11 years ago, Borussia Dortmund headlined at this very venue, falling short against Bayern Munich. Mats Hummels and Marco Reus, the only survivors from that night, whose experience could prove crucial. And of course there's Jude Bellingham, playing against his former club in one of the most outstanding debut seasons in football history. In the stadium of his home nation, live from Wembley, it's Borussia Dortmund versus Real Madrid in the Champions League final. Füllkrug surveying the lay of the land, lays it off to Julian Brandt, testing the attentiveness of Lunyan. Trapped nicely by Camavinga. Tries to extend for the strike as an excellent tackle from Emre Can. Now Vinicius Jr., the first significant Real Madrid attack of the first 5 minutes, and it's Rodrigo. And Kobel not quite crippled by the nerves of the occasion. Not quite the smoothest of saves, but a disaster avoided nonetheless as it trickles over his body. Slowly enough for some oohs and ahs from around the stadium. Sabitzer shrugging off his countryman Rudiger. Martin meets up with Brandt, too tame of a strike to trouble the Ukrainian. Is Vinicius on the warpath and a burst of pace sprinkles him past Rierson. Parried away by Kobel, thankful for Vinicius, taking it on the weaker side. As the fingertips of the keeper ripple like the rain. Here's Brandt into touch, lays it off to Can. Practically whiffs the shot, doesn't get his whole foot through the Champions League final ball. Sabitzer to Sancho. Will the reunion with Dortmund end in righteousness? Probably not so far. Keen energy about this first half here in the Champions League final, and it's Sabitzer going the long way round. Couldn't quite thwart Lunyan at the near post. Carvajal over the top to Rodrigo. Takes it in his stride. Plays it back to Vinicius. And like a car crash, it comes to a sudden stop in the grasp of Kobel. As Kraus finds Vinicius. And again trying to curve his way into the goal. Arches the run, and once again Kobel smart to it. It's like for the keeper so far. Vinicius plays back to Mondi. And Bellingham was keen to make a name for himself in the cross. Couldn't get the cleanest hit on the volley. Bellingham almost adding to the list of great bicycle kick goals in Champions League finals. Füllkrug with another insecure miss. Perhaps the sensation of the pressure of Camavinga bearing down on him from behind threw him off. And Can might just beat Mondi to this. It's Can, and it's stumped by the studs of Lunyan. Dortmund had the perfect start to the second half in their fingertips, but it's a denial from the tips of the toes of Lunyan. Where can Vinicius go from here? Travelling to a crossing position, Schottlerbeck goes with him. Vinicius pings it up to Toni Kroos. Death, taxes, and Real Madrid leading in a Champions League final. Some things are just inevitable. And Toni Kroos, who missed out on the Wembley showcase in 2013 through injury, gets his moment in one of the largest stadiums in Europe. And what do you know, another bicycle kick. In a Champions League final, he joins the class of Mandzukic and Gareth Bale. First blood drawn to the most successful team in Europe. Donny Marlin, back to Rierson. Rierson screeches the ball across the face of the goal. Nobody could get on the end of it. Camavinga links up with Bellingham. It's another scorching strike of his own. It's Füllkrug out wide and much further than he would probably like. Now Brandt. It's a very good hit and a very good save. Carvajal shut down by Brandt. Dortmund's pressure continues here, and Sancho tries to wrap it around Lunion. Once again, is keeping Madrid in this. Over 1 hour played here at Wembley. Brandt opens up with a cross, whipped in, and it's thumped home by Adeyemi. Dortmund have the equaliser. And they've brought the terrifying yellow wall with them to London. They're drowning out the city with a cacophony of animalistic roars and cheers. Dortmund have their moment. The final is not lost yet. It was Ilkay Gundogan who scored the lone goal of Borussia Dortmund's last Champions League final. That was from the penalty spot. That one was much more organic. Play switches to Sancho. Ooh! Well, the groundskeeper may find a few teeth in the turf post-match. If professional football doesn't work out for Sancho, maybe the WWE will come calling. That's a ferocious elbow to Carvajal. Valverde lofting it over the top to Vinicius. Brings it on the inside, knocks through to Valverde, who rocks the crossbar in a violent manner. Now it's not clear if Kobel gets a fingertip onto this. No, it's a clear chance, just a few inches too high, and even Ancelotti cannot believe what he sees. We're into the business end of the Champions League final now. 10 minutes ago, here's Bellingham. Rodrigo steps aside, shot Lebec. Bellingham gets it. Sabitzer is a ghost, and Bellingham will take his inevitable bow at Wembley Stadium. The boyhood dream continues. He may have just scored the winning goal to earn his first Champions League medal. And boy, was it an emphatic effort. Might find some lace prints engraved on this ball. He put his boot and his soul through that hit. Carvajal, Real Madrid trying to put Dortmund out of their misery. Vinicius couldn't quite catch the volley cleanly. 4 minutes to go now for Dortmund. Sabitzer searching for Adeyemi. Lines up with Füllkrug. Camavinga trying to wiggle his way through the proverbial yellow wall of Dortmund. Well, they're not sitting back, are they? They want one more goal to see this game off for good. As Matt Hummels chases in vain, he may be watching his second Champions League final come to an end in defeat once again, because Dortmund have fell short at the final hurdle. 10 minutes to spare, and it's Jude Bellingham. A record-breaking 15th Champions League trophy for Real Madrid. It all began with Toni Kroos scoring an iconic goal in his last club game of his illustrious career. Adeyemi brought the Yellows back into this. But that young man, Jude Bellingham, who's dragged every team he's played for this year kicking and screaming to victories left, right and centre, has punctuated a thrilling Champions League final at Wembley Stadium for the 6th time in a decade. Real Madrid are the champions of European football.